tell us about your work with the government of India on the war against COVID-19 and what is coming up next in the series?
See, this multi-attack kind of a scenario back on COVID-19. There are a number of issues that the government is doing its best to resolve, and they're using a number of people, resources to try and see that everything is covered and done adequately. Lots of people are doing lots of things on their own. But the work that we have been commissioned by the government to do, and what we did was first the thing on the mask force, where we had the privilege of getting the services of a lot of Indian cricket players, and we put it together, the mask force, which was the first act that we did. Then Harbhajan and his wife, they were kind enough to do a very nice one on how masks can be made at home by demonstrating. Then one of the biggest objectives of the government is to get everyone to get the Arogya Setu app. And there we were able to get Ajay Devgan to do a nice piece for us on Arogya Setu, the campaign called Setu Mera Bodyguard. At this point of time, we are addressing things like people who are shy or afraid of not sharing their problems and therefore endangering those around them, to come out and save themselves and save those near and dear to them. And issues of people not accepting those that have been found to be positive, have got cured and gone back home. So all these sensitive issues we are trying to help the government with. And I won't even say trying to help the government, we are helping ourselves, all of us as citizens.
So any more campaigns that are going to come out, Abhi?
Yeah, we'll probably be shooting tomorrow itself.
Okay. Any details you want to share about that?
No, yeah, there's no problem. We will be addressing the last two issues I shared with you about not hiding your ailments and not being scared of any kind of stigma. You're a part of society, and you will be accepted, and you will be one of us. You are one of us.
So amidst all this gloom and doom, what are the positive outcomes you see of this period?
I think there is a reality check. All of us learned some of the things that we have forgotten. 20 years back, 25, 30 years back, there were no internets. There were no Zoom calls of the kind that you and I are making. And life was absolutely first class, hunky-dory. You had ways of doing it. Telephone calls could easily suffice, and you could communicate with people. I mean, just imagine the days when Mahatma Gandhi, in the days when there were no aircraft flying here and there, his message used to get to the country like that. Because the message was, of course, very powerful and involved a lot of Indians. But just imagine, they used to go by trains, I don't know how many days. But when you got to do something, you got to do something and make things happen. We can't get used to things and say this is the only way it can be done. Sometimes I think of, even in today's day, you think of a war situation. And there is a small group of an army battalion, or not battalion, the smaller groups. They are on one hill. Somebody else is somewhere else. They don't have Zoom calls out there. And they have to take instant decisions. They have a walkie-talkie. And they speak to somebody and say, should I or should I not? And a war is a big thing. They don't have all kinds of video assist for someone to tell them. You have to take decisions. You have been given a responsibility. You don't have all the equipment in the world. You got to make decisions, and you have to learn the art of communicating while not seeing what is happening out there.
Mm.
So I think all those things we'll come out learning that the art of communication is making a point no matter what the medium is. And if you can do it, I think we'll go back to the basics and learn a lot of things that we've forgotten about. That's the biggest learning.
Who or what has been your inspiration during this time?
I mean, can anyone deny that the biggest inspiration for all of us are the doctors, are the cops, are the entire nursing community of this country? Everyone who's stepping out, taking chances with her or his life, and going out, sometimes very unfortunately, being beaten up by people that they're trying to help, and yet they're determined, yet they're stepping out. If there are any role models, at this point in time, they are not about individuals. They're all about these COVID warriors who are out there fighting while risking their lives. I mean, people say, who are the role models? Role models don't come in singles. Sometimes they come in groups, in professions, and they inspire you. Like nothing inspires people more than the army in the times of war, the forces. Similarly, these are the forces today. And each one of us, whoever we may think that we are in the world of communication, I think we have a lot to learn from very, very common people with a single point agenda of, I will do my bit.
You've always been rooted to people and to reality. And you also told me earlier that your inspiration is the people of India, the entire people of India with amazing resilience. So finally, what would be your message to the creative industry professionals out there who are managing their work, ideating in the middle of this lockdown, despite the constraints?
I think they're all grown-ups. They're all professionals like me. I don't want to summarize to anybody. All I can say is don't panic. The days are bad. The wicket is, it's been a rainy day. You've got to go out and bat. Life will come back. Don't panic. I mean, there was a wonderful article I think I spoke to you about. If they can find it, about a person who was born in 1900 and saw the two world wars, saw the Great Depression, saw the Korean War, saw the Cold War, saw everything. And then he's sitting down and saying, hello guys, what are you panicking about? So be positive, be innovative. Don't let your circumstances overpower your creativity, your mind, your sense of challenge. You are in this business because you are wonderful at what you do. So don't let that beautiful thing in you get out. Or as they say, kuch din ki baat hai, that too will pass. So hang in there, be happy, be innovative, try things. Some will fail, some will go through. You might just come out a better human being, a stronger human being as you come out of this. And for all those people, the thinkers, the so-called people who predict the future, I think a lot of them will eat their own words about life after COVID will be like this and that. They should actually, my colleagues in the industry should think of a small village. Every year, hundreds of villages get completely swept away by floods. And yet that small farmer restarts, he builds his hut again, he grows his crop again, he gets on with it. I've never seen him make huge predictions about the future, how life will be something else. Yes, life will teach us a few things in the days to come. But are you going to give up? No, we're not going to give up. So get on with it, guys. You have it in you.
So what is one line that comes to your mind? How would you sum up this situation in one line if I ask you?
I've always believed in 2 words and not 1 line.
Okay.
And those 2 words are Lage Raho.
Thank you very much. That was inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.